Hi, class. It's Dr. Lindner. Okay, let's take a look here at what happens when the keratinocytes, that the basal layer or the germinativum layer of the epidermis, right? When you have those stem cells, they divide and they produce these keratinocytes, and the keratinocytes are pushed upwards towards the surface. Okay, now, and most people, it takes about 4 weeks or 30 days or so um, for the cells to make it from the basal layer all the way up to the stratum corneum. Remember those layers. Cher loves getting skin Botox from superficial to deep. That's the stratum corneum, the stratum lucidum, the stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and the stratum basal layer. So it's about 4 weeks journey to go from the basal layer all the way up to the stratum corneum, which is made up of those dead cells that slough off. Okay, now, unless of course there's some sort of abrasion or some sort of incident, then the stratum corneum can slough off quicker than that. But there are some people that have this hormonal epidermal growth factor speeds up the process of which the keratinocytes multiply and divide and get up to the stratum corneum. And one of the conditions that's known to have higher amounts of the epidermal growth factor that speeds up that process is called psoriasis. That is a chronic skin disorder where the cells in the stratum corneum shed in like 7 to 10 days. And it gets very, very flaky, very silvery type of scaly type of appearance. And that's where the word psoriasis comes from. In Greek, it's pasadi, and pasadi means fish. And it looks silvery and scaly like a fish. So this is what psoriasis looks like when it's in front of the knees. You can have it behind the elbows. You can also have it behind the scalp. Um, Always important to look at someone's vitamin D levels if they have psoriasis. So you always want to look at their 25 hydroxide numbers. You also want to be careful with the amount of carbohydrates in their system and the amount of sugar, and check their insulin levels and regulate that as well. Here's what it looks like when it's behind the elbows and the forearm. This is psoriasis. It is a autoimmune condition, but most people that have this uh, can be managed with diet and nutrition. And when they slack on their diet and nutrition, they'll always say it's worse. When they eat clean, it's much, much better. Now, in terms of UV rays, when we look at UVA rays and UVB rays, the UVB rays from the sun, these are well, actually, let me come back to this in a second. Let's come back in a second.